Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. The State of Origin sides have been announced for Game 3 of the 2021 State of Origin Series. New South Wales, with a fairly similar side to the first two games, in Queensland, will have made plenty of changes as expected after two humiliating defeats in the first two games of the Origin Series. But if you guys are new to the YouTube channel, make sure you guys smash the subscribe button. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Make sure you like this video as well, guys, and comment your thoughts on the State of Origin Game 3 teams in the comment section below. But what we're going to do, we're going to go through both sides, 1 through to 17, and I'm going to give my thoughts on the players that are in the sides. I don't think there'll be too much to say, but there's a couple of players that have been picked from both sides that I'm a little bit surprised about, and some I like, some I don't like, but let's get into it. So we'll go through the New South Wales side first. So fullback and captain is James Tedesco. On the wings, Brian To'o and Josh Addo-Carr. Centers are Latrell Mitchell and Tom Trbojevic. It's the same backline as Game 1 and Game 2, and it's a fantastic backline. The halves, completely different because Luai and Cleary are out injured. 5'8", Jack Whiten. Halfback, Mitchell Moses. The front row of Payne Haas and Junior Paulo. Daniel Saifiti has been ruled out as well due to injury. Damien Cook goes to hooker. He remains in that position. The back row remains the same of Cameron Murray, Tarek Sims. Isaiah Yeo keeps his spot at lock. And on the bench, on Origin, making his Origin debut, was Api Koroisau. Also on the bench is Angus Crichton and Liam Martin. And Dale Finucane comes onto the bench for New South Wales as well. And Nicho Hynes will be in the reserves as the 18th man, which is going to be very interesting because he's been playing some great footy at the Storm this year. Now, as for the Queensland side, fullback is the returning Kalen Ponga. The wingers are Valentine Holmes and Xavier Coates. Kyle Felt's been dropped. Val Holmes goes to the wing instead of being at fullback. And Ponga is back at fullback, so that's going to be interesting to see how they go there. Centers, Dane Gagai, and also on debut is Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow, the Hammer. He is getting his State of Origin debut. As a Cowboys supporter, I am very happy for the Hammer. He's been playing some really good footy for the Cowboys this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes with Kurt Capewell finally being out of the center position. They put the Hammer there, which is going to be very interesting. Halves remain the same. Cameron Munster and the captain, the halfback Daly Cherry-Evans. He is still in the side. The front row of Christian Welch and Josh Papali remains the same as Game 2. Ben Hunt will start at number 9 for Queensland, which will be very interesting. I think he'll do a really good job at hooker, Ben Hunt. The back row, Kurt Capewell and Felice Kaufusi. Kurt Capewell goes from centre to back row, which is probably a good thing for him. Lock is Jairo. And on the bench, AJ Brimson, Tino Fasua Malawi, Moe Fotuaika, and David Fifita. Francis Molle is 18th man. Kurt Mann is jersey number 19. And Thomas Flegler is jersey number 20. So that's the sides for Game 3 for New South Wales and Queensland. Look, obviously with New South Wales already winning the Origin Series, they want to go for a clean sweep, win the series 3-0. Will it happen? That remains to be seen next Wednesday night when State of Origin 3 kicks off. But, you know, I think the New South Wales side is very good. I think the back line is just unbelievable. I think tomorrow that would be the Australian back line. I don't think there would be any arguments about that unless Brian To'o went and played for Samoa, and then Queensland might have maybe put Gagai, in the Australian side if you're going to go that way. But I guess we'll see what happens at the World Cup at the end of the year. But the Blues backline, it's world class. Now, the halves. This is my issue for New South Wales. I think Jack Whiten at 5'8" is undeserved. And Mitchell Moses as a halfback for New South Wales. I don't think he's State of Origin material. I said it last week, and we all saw Friday night. He missed that kick against the Penrith Panthers to win the game. People are going off their heads saying, oh, it was one kick, big deal. Look, Mitchell Moses has history of failing in big moments. You just got to go back and look at his resume. 2017, semi-final against the Cowboys, went missing when it mattered most. 2018, Parramatta had a bad year. They won the wooden spoon that year. There was one game where Mitchell Moses had a kick from the sideline to level the game against Cronulla to go to Golden Point. He missed that. 2019, semi-final against the Melbourne Storm, went missing in that game where they were beaten 32-0. And last year, the 2020 semi-final against the South Sydney Rabbitohs at Bankwest Stadium. Parramatta were down by 2. I think it was 20, what was it? I can't remember what the score was. I think it was 20 points to 18. And then Moses missed a kick to level the game. Missed the kick. South ended up scoring down the other end and winning the game. So there has been a few times, and obviously this year now with Mitchell Moses, the other night against the Panthers, missed a kick to win the game. So Mitchell Moses at halfback, it is a concern. I have my doubts, but I hope on Wednesday night, for State of Origin next week, I hope he comes out and absolutely destroys it. Now, I might be a little bit overreactive about Mitchell Moses and Jack Wighton in the halves, but I'm just concerned. Jack Wighton hasn't had a good year at Canberra, and he's been playing some really ordinary footy. He's only there because he's been on the bench for New South Wales, and he's been there and done it. Obviously in the Blues squad before, and Mitchell Moses at halfback. I'm so concerned about it. I don't know how it will go, but we'll soon find out on Wednesday night next week. I don't know how they will go together. Moses has had a good year for the Eels, but in those big moments, when it matters most, I'm a little bit concerned, but I guess we'll soon find out what happens next week. The front row was fantastic. Payne Haas, Junior Paulo. Obviously Daniel Saifiti not there due to injury. So Payne Haas goes into the starting side with Junior Paulo, which is a phenomenal front row. Damien Cook keeps his spot at number 9. Have been a bit critical of Damien Cook as of late. I thought Api Coruscant probably deserved that number 9 position, but Cook's been there, done it before, and I suppose you just got to go with what's been winning so far. The back row's been great. Cam Murray's been good. Sims has been great, and Isaiah Yeo's been outstanding. So I have no problem with the back row and the lock. The bench, Coruscant on the bench, well deserved. He's had a great year at Penrith, and I believe he deserves his Origin spot. Crichton, Liam Martin, 2 very good players. They deserve to be there. And Dale Finucane on the bench. He'll come off the bench and be that front rower. Dale Finucane is a fantastic addition to the Blues bench. I think he deserves to be in the side, and I'm glad he's there. It's well deserved from Dale Finucane. Overall, the Blues have a very good team. I'd probably rate that team a solid 8 out of 10. Backline's a 10 out of 10. Forward pack's a solid 9 out of 10. It's an elite forward pack, elite backline. Halves are a bit of a concern with Damien Cook. They've been a bit up and down, but overall, it's a very good side. I'll give the Blues side a solid 8 out of 10. Excuse me. The Queensland side, they have made lots of changes. So, Ponga at fullback. I mean, he played one game the other night against the Cowboys. Absolutely tore him to shreds. Is one game enough for match fitness? I guess we'll soon find out. But a player at Callum Ponga's caliber, he's got to be in the side if he's fit. And I think he will definitely play. I think he will play Origin 1. There are a bit of doubts about Callum Ponga, obviously, but I think he'll be there and I think he'll do the job. Holmes and Coates on the wing. I think Holmes has been very underwhelming in the Origin series without a doubt, but I put him on the wing. I'll tell you right now, he'll be a much better player. Xavier Coates, he had a terrible game 1, a decent game 2. We'll see how he goes in game 3, but I think he had a better game 2 than Kyle Feldt, so that's why Xavier Coates is there for game 3, but good on him. I guess we'll see how they go. Gagai at centre definitely needs to pull his head in. He's been really disappointing in this series, Dane Gagai. Also, the Hammer making his debut, which is going to be very interesting. Tabuai Fidel, we'll see how he goes out there. He'll be up against Tommy Turbo, so good luck, Hammer. But I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes in Origin. Munster, DCE in the halves. I mean, they've both been a bit disappointing, but Munster and DCE versus White and Moses, I'm taking the Queensland halves over the Blues halves, in my opinion, but that's just me. The front row, Welsh and Papali, I'm sure they'll do a better job in game 3. Ben Hunt at number 9, I think that's a great selection. Capewell on the back row, really good move. I think he needs to be on an edge, not in the centres. Felice Kaufusi shouldn't even be in the side. He's a complete joke. He's a lazy player. He's a grub. He doesn't do anything right out there, Kaufusi. So I question Kaufusi being in the side. Jai Arrow at lock, I think that's a good idea. Jai Arrow has been decent for Queensland in this Origin series, so I'm okay with him at lock. And The bench. AJ Brimson, as that jersey 14, come on and play a bit of utility. I think he'll do a good job. Hang on a second, guys. Bloody hell. Let me just fix up here. I can't even see anything. There we go. Get the light on. That's a lot better. A lot better for you guys. Sorry about that. Anyway, as I was saying, I think AJ Brimson on the bench is that utility. Didn't really offer a whole lot in game 1 when he played. So, I guess, you know, he gets another opportunity and we'll see how he goes in game 3. Tino and Fodawaker will be the front rowers at the bench for Queensland. I think that's a really good addition. They're both very good front rowers, and I think they'll lay a really good platform. Moe Fodawaker's been probably one of Queensland's best players in this series. He's been very good for him. I'm surprised he's not starting. You know, if you want impact, maybe you put Arrow on the bench and you switch Fodawaker to 13 maybe. But you know, I think Fodawaker and Tino off the bench are going to be very good. And David Fifita on the bench as well. I'm not really a big fan of that, but David Fifita will do what David Fifita does, and hopefully he gets on the field after around the 20th minute mark, because he can come on the field and be a nightmare. And some of the other players there, Molo, he misses out. He's just 18th man at the moment. Fair enough. He didn't do a whole lot in game 2. Kurt Mann, I don't know how he got in the squad, but I'm guessing for his versatility. I think Kurt Mann's a better utility player than Brimson, so I wouldn't be surprised if they made a late switch there. And also, number 20 is Thomas Flegler. I like Flegler. I think he's the future. I think he'll do a really good job at maybe as a backup player, but if he gets onto the bench for Queensland, he should do a good job. I've got to say, though, this is probably the best Queensland side that they've named in the free Origin series, so I'd say this is a really good Queensland side. I'm going to give Queensland side a solid 7 out of 10. I think it's a really good team. I think they've got the spine right. Ponga, Munster, DCE and Hunt, I think that will work really well. I like the Hammer in the centres. I think he'll do a good job. Gagai needs to get more ball. Holmes on the wing is a better idea. Papali in the middle with Arrow and Welsh, much better. Capewell's in his primary position. The only thing I would change for Queensland is I would start Fifita over Kaufusi, take Kaufusi out of the 17, and maybe put in Thomas Flegler. But that's just my opinion. Look, I think both sides, I think this Origin is going to be a better game. Look, I'm going to do my preview of it over the weekend, but I think this is going to be a tighter game than the first 2 games. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys tonight at 7:30 PM for the Corner Post, live on YouTube. See you then, lads.